Welcome back. Today we have our last solution for this problem called longest common prefix. I guess this solution will be quite easier than the previous one. The previous one is really tough to understand. So if you didn't understand it, just don't push it on yourself and just try to watch this video time and time over and over and until you find yourself comfortable with it. And if you have any question, just feel free to ask me on the comment section. But just to make the question descriptive, well described, so I can understand it. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So let's just start with this last solution. Let's just read the problem first. Problem number 14, longest common prefix. Write a function to find the longest common prefix, strings amongst an array of strings. If there is no common prefix, return an empty string. Example, we have this example. So we have this array, we have flower, flow, and flight, and the common prefix is FL because it's available in all strings, amongst all the strings. We have this one, we have race car, car, and dog. There is no common prefix. Like car is in race car and car, but it's not in dog. Dog doesn't have any one of the characters starting with race car or car. So because of that, we're returning an empty string. And in this one, we want to solve it in a binary search solution. And what is a binary search? It's basically when we have, let's say that, where's this one? Yeah. Let's say that when you have array and we have element, 1, 2, and 3, for example, and we want to search or something, instead of going through each array and compare it to the others, we want to search and compare, what we do is that we divide the array and try to compare the left side, and after that let's try to compare the right side, and let's just see everything else. And the good thing about this one, it's really efficient and it takes logm time complexity, so it will be the best solution that we're going to do. So let's just try to first see the code, and after that see how the binary search works. So first of all, I want to put two base cases. So if the strings equals null, or strings dot length equals 0, return empty string. Okay. I want to create a variable. Basically, if the string equals null, that means there's no string, so there is no prefix. And if the string is empty string, also there is no prefix, so we return the empty string. We want to create a variable called min_len. So and I will give it infinity. And the purpose of this infinity, and the purpose of this variable is that it tracks, for example, we have a min prefix. We make sure the min prefix that available in all the strings is not bigger than the smallest string in the strings array. So we want to find the smallest string in the strings array and only loop based on the string, because we don't want to loop for bigger strings. It doesn't make sense. So I will create a loop for let str string of strings. Let's call it let item, because maybe str is let item of strings. We want to say the min len will equals math dot min, the actual min len, and the item dot length. So we make sure that we have the smallest length, and we know how the most length is. So after that, what we happen to how the binary search work, that we take the left right or the low and higher right and just try to compare them together. So let's just create let low will equals 1 and let high and because high will not be bigger than min length, so it will equals min length. And we create a while loop, and I will say while low is less than or equals high. Okay, and I will create an oh shit. Okay, so I will create let middle, which will be variable, and the middle will be equals math dot flow low plus high divided by 2. Okay, and I will have a function here downstairs, not downstairs, down here, called, I will call it function is common, because this one will know if the strings that we're passing is common or not. Is common, and this one takes the strings, array of strings, and will pass to it a sub array and the length that we can go through. So I will say that if the strings, okay, and the middle, no, if is common of the strings and middle, the low will be equals middle, low it will be equals middle plus 1. What does this mean? I know maybe it's not the easiest thing to understand. Just give me a minute. Otherwise, it's common. Yeah, it's common. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, else we will say high equals middle minus 1. So we have this, we pass the strings array. Okay, so it will take the strings array, and the length will be equals whatever middle has, and the middle equals the low plus high minus 2 divided by 2. So I'm saying that it's the first two string. For example, if the first two string is equals to all the other strings in the array, if yes, return it. Otherwise, don't return it. If you didn't find it make no sense, just be aware with me. Just be patient. Return the strings of 0 dot substring, which 0 and math dot flow low plus high divided by 2. And I guess, yeah, that's it. But let's just define the is common, because this will be the last thing. So I will go to the first string. So I'll say let single string will equals strings of 0 dot substring from 0 to len. So we have this is the prefix string. Let's call it prefix, not single. And let's just say for let I equals 1. Okay, because we are on the already first one already. We have the first one, and I less than and I less than strings dot length, and I that's plus, and I will say if not strings of I, if strings of I doesn't start with the prefix string, that means this prefix string is not prefix string, so we return false. And if none of this one works, we return true. So basically what happens here basically it's that okay, there's construction workers. There's annoying noise. I hope it's not in the recording. So let's just try to recap everything. Maybe it's not easiest thing to understand. So the longest common prefix function takes an array of strings called str and its parameter and returns a string, okay, which is the longest common prefix among the strings as we discussed. So it first check if the strings here, we here first check if the strings array is null or empty. If it is, it returns an empty string, as there cannot be a common prefix among null or empty strings. Number 3, this part, it initializes the min length to infinity. The variable will be used to store the minimum length among all the strings in the strings array. It iterates through the strings array using for of loop, okay, and loop to find the minimum length among all strings by comparing each string length with the current minimum length. Okay, so after finding the minimum length, it initializes low and high to the minimum to set up the binary search range, because we want to set up the binary search range here. And we create a while loop. So the while loop perform a binary search to find the length of the common prefix. It continues until we continue looping until low is less than or equal high. Okay, so inside of the loop, it calculates the middle as the floor of the average of low and high, and then then we call the common and then we call isCommon function to check if the common prefix of the length middle exists among all strings. If it does, it updates low to middle +1 to search for longer common prefix. Otherwise, it updates high to middle to search for shorter common prefix. And after the binary search completes, it returns the common prefix found by using this syntax. So the isCommon function here, takes an array of strings and in an integer called length, representing the length of the common prefix to check. It compares the common prefix of length called len from the first string to the other strings in the array using the starts with method. If all strings have the same common prefix, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. Maybe you didn't understand this also, so let's just take an example, because I guess the example will be the best thing ever to understand. So let's just, right now, we have this one. We have this strings. And we have right now low will equals 1. High will equals min length. Min length will be 4. Okay. So middle will be equals 1 plus 4, which will be 5 divided by 2, 2.5. Low, it will be 2. Right? Yeah, it will be 2. So first of all, we want to find the common prefix. So we have we call the isCommon with the strings array, and we pass the middle, which will be 2. So and we have length here equals 2 and the array the same. So we can the prefix strings will be equals the first 2 characters from the first elements will be fl. Okay, so we have here, we call this for loop. We say that if strings of I, we call for let's just break this here also, and let's just break it here also because we did. So we start here with fl. So I'm saying that if it doesn't start with fl, returns false, but it starts with if else, so we don't do anything. The same here, so we return true. So that means we have the first two character of any string is come prefix. So let's just search for more. So what we have to do, we update low. So low to equals middle plus 1. So what was low? Low was 1. Let me just make sure that this works. Okay, it's work. So low will equals 1 and middle equals 2. Low will equals middle plus 1, so it will equals 2 plus 1 should equal 3. Yeah, I'm pretty bad at math, but I'm not that bad. Okay, so low which equals 3 and len equals 4. So we go here. We have 3 and 4. So middle will equals 3 plus 4 divided by what? Divided by 2, right? 3, 7, and 7 divided by 2, 3.5. So it will be 3. So we have this 3, and because we have this 3, we try to we try to continue looping. So we have here strings 3. So we try to contain. Right now middle will be 3. So we right now instead of have L, it will be O. Okay, but this will return false because it will false in the first thing because it doesn't start with flow. It doesn't start with it. So this will be false. So we take 1 high will equals middle minus 1. So middle is 3 and high will equals middle minus 1, which will be 2. And right now low is bigger than high, so we end this one. We end this while loop. So we go here, we take the string of length from the first one and we put math.floor low plus high divided by 2, and we have here 3 2 5 2. It will be 2 then if L. That's it. And I hope my description is quite good. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and see you in future problems.